Hi, my name is Leesa. I'm an educational interpreter of Auslan. I've been an interpreter for approximately 11 years. My role is to support the deaf and hard of hearing student in the classroom. This is through interpreting all spoken English in the classroom and allowing the deaf student equal access to the curriculum. The deaf or hard of hearing student is my first priority. I work one-on-one or in a group with the deaf student to support their learning. However, if the deaf student is working independently, then I can support other students in the classroom. But the deaf student is my first priority. I'm required to be with the deaf student during all class times, both in and out of the classroom, for safety, communication, and access reasons. Sometimes I need to unpack some information for the student. Part of my role is to monitor the student for understanding. This can take some extra time, and sometimes I might use an iPad to show the student some visuals. I will continually inform the teacher of the student's understanding as well. I can make Auslan resources to support the student's learning where needed and work as a team with the teacher to find the best ways to support the deaf student. It's helpful if I'm included in planning meetings and if I know the individual and class learning goals so that I can be best prepared for the lessons. I can help the class learn some Auslan signs to support the inclusion of the deaf students' language in the classroom. Some useful tips when working with an interpreter. Speak naturally. You don't need to slow down your speaking for the interpreter. If the interpreter needs clarification of something, they will ask you. Arrange your classroom so there's enough room for the interpreter to stand or sit at the front of the classroom next to the teacher or next to the whiteboard or wherever the visuals are being displayed. Try to limit walking around the classroom when speaking to the students, as the interpreter will need to follow you, and this sometimes can be a little bit awkward. An interpreter will use any visuals on the board to help clarify meaning for the student and they will point to the visuals from time to time. Provide the interpreter with books, videos, PowerPoints, class lesson plans, or any other information beforehand to help them prepare for the lesson. This really makes a difference for how the content is delivered to the deaf student. Speak directly to the student when you want to communicate with them, and the interpreter will facilitate the conversation both in English to Auslan and Auslan to English. The interpreter will voice for the student as well. Try to remember to allow the student time to do their work before speaking to the whole class, as they can't work and watch the interpreter at the same time. Therefore, they will miss important information. I really enjoy working as a team with the class teachers as we work together to facilitate learning for the deaf and hard of hearing students.